Hey guys, today I would like to discuss a training exercise that we can start implementing in our dog's everyday life. I would do this exercise once a day. Come on, go play. And I would do it with their kibble, preferably. It can be done with treats as well. It can be done with higher enrichment stuff too. But the exercise is called scatter feeding, okay? Scatter feeding. Some trainers call it forage feeding. So if you want to look up some things on it and you're not finding much with scatter feeding, which is what I call it, you can look up forage feeding, okay? There is a large missing piece in a lot of dogs' lives. A source of great fulfillment, motivation and purpose, and something that can keep your dog incredibly mentally well and motivated, not just for their food, but motivated, period. And that is the desire to forage. We often strip that away from our dogs' lives and we replace it with something I'm pretty sure you're familiar with: grabbing a scoop of kibble, putting it in a bowl, handing it to our dog. There is no greater way to devalue a dog's food or to unmotivate a dog, create essentially an unemployed dog, than to graze. Graze feeding, it's a big no-no in the training world. I would be hard-pressed to find a single trainer that does it. It's something we definitely want to restructure in our dogs' lives, especially once they're coming off of such a highly motivational and fulfilling day-to-day life like they are now in training programs. So if you are someone who puts your dog's food in a bowl and leaves it there, let's quit that starting today. What we're going to replace that with are two things. One is going to be scatter feeding, the other is going to be 15-minute feeding sessions. And that is that. 15 minutes, pull the bowl, that's it. And every time we're preparing their food, make sure the dog is in an obedient state and they're watching us prepare their food. Food comes from us, right? So we're building food motivation, and we're also building our personal value to our dog. How much of an important resource we are to our dog relies on how many things, how many basic needs we provide. And a lot of times food is one that is highly overlooked. So adjusting the feeding sessions with the 15 and pull, that's easy enough to explain. But scatter feeding is a little bit difficult, so I'm going to do a video on that for you in a second. The execution's not too difficult. The concept is a little bit, on and off for some people. But really, what you're trying to emulate with some of their food source. I like to say, when dogs are in training, 1/3 of their food for obedience, 1/3 of their food for forage feeding, and 1/3 of their food to feed in the crate, in a bowl, the old-fashioned way. Those should be the main three ways we're feeding our dog. That doesn't mean we need to increase our dog's food. Keep the same amount of food that they would eat throughout the day, based off of their target weight. Put that all in a bag or to the side, or just memorize what it is. Use 1/3 for obedience, 1/3 for forage feeding, 1/3 for crate feeding. Do that every day. Your dog's obedience is going to excel. Your value to your dog is going to excel. Your dog's behavior is going to balance out because we're going to be managing a primal desire that they don't normally receive in today's day and age with the installment of the forage feeding. And they're going to feel as if they have a job, right? You're going to get crate benefits. We're going to get relationship benefits, behavior benefits, just all around. It's going to help fulfill the needs of our dog. Every day we should focus on feeding our dog in those 3 ways. All right, I'm going to do an exercise in the forage feeding. The other 2, I'll do a kennel feeding video at some point. Those are pretty simple, but I do want to go over my cues with that and what it looks like. But today we're going to do the scatter feeding video here in a second for you. Those 3 ways every day we should be feeding our dog to keep them balanced and motivated. All right.